It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. We're supposed to get some rain today and thunderstorms tomorrow. Um, this doesn't like, yeah, no tape. Okay, um, it's only gonna let me do this side, so up and down instead of sideways. I had a interesting night yesterday. Was watching a video, and I hope I didn't say anything in my last video that uh, made anybody feel uncomfortable, or um, I didn't mean to downplay anybody. And really, really, really honestly, I did not mean to just, disc anybody or tell them that they're making up things. I just wanted to mention the things that, and how do you go about doing certain things and considering all the options before going from one place to another, so that you feel safe within your own skin. I'm sitting out here on the patio as I usually do, and I'm, got, 44%, so again, I get to talk a little bit. You can see how dark it is outside right now. It is pretty dark, but it will be coming sun up. I enjoy being here. I enjoy the things that life has been able to give me so far. I hope that everybody enjoy my video and push like and subscribe if you like it. I'm gonna walk around and see if I can get a better connection. Any bars? Okay, there. I got 2 or 3 bars now. Just standing here. So here I am in front of the porch light. That way you get a little bit better view. My hair is messed up. I tried to cut it my bad. We're definitely needing sharpened, and there's no way. But there's tons of things that I do know how to do. I wish that I could articulate most things I do. Like, for instance, this right here is a no-no. Never put a strap on a board like that, which connects to the house. It is stupid. It implying that it won't fall, but I guarantee you it can be ripped and cause cracks in the foundation, as well as what we're dealing with now, which is a cracked patio foundation and a busted pipe, and it's already showing cracks across the ceiling inside. When you're building a porch and you're adding it to your house, leave a little space for the drainage and go ahead and be safe about it, and put concrete type thing to set the board into, and cement it in. I mean, if you're going to really build anything and spend any amount of time on carpentry, do it right. This is, I mean, even half wrong, and you know, I know more words to call it, but yeah, it's nothing I would build. I mean, the 2x6 was a great idea for the actual pieces, as you see throughout this. This is a great idea, but you must have a area in between the. Let me try to get in there. This needs to have that crossover there, like this over here. Let me see if I can show it. This up here, right here, is the drain. This should have went all the way over that way, making sure that there is no pull on the house, which will make it rip. And yes, as you see, that right there, a crack. You shouldn't have that problem. And the connection is starting to mess up again. It's a bad connection. Well, I'll go back over here. As you see, it's kind of dark, and you see in the background how it's lightening up a little bit. That means the sun's actually coming up. Look at that plant. You see that plant? That's so cool. It looks so beautiful. I mean, even the smallest of plants or the littlest of plants, it's just the fact that plants are starting to arrive, knowing it's spring. Since the decoy whatever didn't come out, we got 6 more weeks of whatever of winter. I don't care. I'm enjoying the weather. It got a little hot yesterday afternoon. It was good 82, if not more. At least it felt like it. It was really hot. I'm enjoying myself. I'm looking forward to going to class, which class is IOP. It's an outpatient program to deal with my post-traumatic stress disorder, and I'm learning quite a lot. And as I learn, I'm going to try to teach, or at least show what I'm learning, and help people who are dealing with the things I'm dealing with, maybe give you an answer you haven't thought about, and share others' answers to see if it helps us cope with the life that we have. Being in Austin, Texas is almost like being, it's almost like being in Salt Lake or any other capital of states. They cap everything that's here, although anybody that's here that knows somebody, that's the only type of people they actually welcome here. The neighbors are not as kind as you would think they would be, at least not now. 20 years ago, you could go next door, say, hey, nice to meet you, and trade plants and ideas and carpentry and fishing and newspaper clippings and articles, and you used to be able to do it. You can't do that no more. Since the Twin Towers fell, and there's a law here in Austin, Texas, which is really crazy because marketing went out the door at that point, as well as being able to enjoy the outdoors. But loitering means you can't stand out in front of businesses or stand out on the sidewalk or sit down on the sidewalk or something like that and people watch. You can't. That's stupid. The reason why I say it's stupid is because have you ever seen anybody really be able to not sit out front or not be able to, my camera keeps on going in and out. I gotta further up here. Anyway, I think it's sitting out front of businesses and then them telling other people, hey, I sat out so-and-so, I seen some good prices and blah, blah, blah. That was a way of mouth-to-mouth advertising, and I think that the loitering laws have took that out away from us. And also, it kept people at home. I think people that have to stay at home because of the laws that are set in public, you can't go anywhere unless you have business there. And as soon as you're done with your business, you have to go home. You can go somewhere else, but it's mostly inside. Unless you want to jog around, moving constantly. It kind of takes away from the disabled. And here in Texas is the lowest funded state in the United States for mental illness. They will all tell you, officers will tell you, doctors will tell you, the therapist will tell you, everybody here that is mentally ill does not get the enough care to help us live in a place. $750 don't get you anywhere as far as Social Security disability, and right now I'm down to $440 a month because I'll tell it on my Facebook, or maybe not on Facebook, but I'll tag it to the video, maybe a little information about what's going on each time I do a vlog. Again, I'm getting a bad lag, whatever it is. But I just wanted to let y'all all know that life is what it is. Um, it's great in so many different directions and ways. Squirrels. We have a couple of squirrels, and they're interesting, and I love to feed them, and I love to feed the birds. Um, I like to see country ways of living. I used to live in the country for many years. You can't put a cowboy in the city and expect him to understand everything in the city. And right now, I'm a country boy having to live in the city, and there's so many different laws here that you cannot do, so many things that you can do in the country. Where I was raised, there's a ton of things that I could enjoy and do without question, without somebody saying you can't. So much more freedom. The laws do not apply to my grandmother's place, which I hope someday I'll be able to take you and show you. It's turned into a forest of trees and bushes and snakes, and God only knows what's out there. I've heard bobcats have been found out there at times. My mom even she's crippled and homebound. She has a possum living underneath her medical bed that goes and comes in a hole in a trailer. She has a lot of rats and mice. Her cabinets inside are rotting. Her roof is rotted. She's got holes in the roof where water comes down onto her kitchen table. It's just really sad, but that's how she wants to live. As a matter of fact, if I go visit, she only lets me stay for 2 or 3 hours, and then she tells me, well, Michael, I'm not used to having people here, and I'm going to take a nap, and I'd rather you just go home. Well, that's my mom. That's how she is. Matter of fact, she told me point blank, I wasn't meant to be a mother. I don't want to be a mother, and you're just gonna have to accept it. I just have to accept it. My brother disowned us. My sister disowned me. My half siblings disowned me, just about, except for maybe one, and I don't communicate with them. I'd like to, but I don't. I've been to Nebraska, lived there a month. I've lived in Wyoming, in Kemmer, Wyoming, Kemmerer. Funny little town, but I loved to stay there. I even wrote a whole back page of the Gazette paper, a report of the town's issues, and tried to work on them with an answer and stability of the town structures that the mayor and the council were avoiding, which seems like a lot of people avoid things. If they don't want to deal with it, they just avoid it, and it never gets done. And people that can have jobs that can take over that and get it done, they're not willing to do, because they're wanting to spend money on Walmart, but they don't want to spend money on things that need to be done. At this live stream on the internet to everybody, I also have one nice lady that I've seen and talked to about flowers. Really sweet lady, and the rest of the people around here are kind of down because they think it's a group home, which it's not a group home. It's a boarding house, which is a little bit, I don't even want to say a little bit, it's a very classy way to live. For $1,100 a month, I'm comfortable. A lot more comfortable than if I were in a house by myself, really, because I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean. All I really got to do is go to sleep and wake up. That's something that you don't see every day, and you don't have to worry about tomorrow. You don't have to worry about where you're gonna sleep, or what you're gonna do, or how you're gonna do it. You don't have to worry about it. You can actually enjoy life. I wished I could show you more. It looks like the lights are starting to peak a little bit. It's starting to peak a little bit of the colors of the sky. It's really neat. I'm going to try to stay live online until the sun starts to come up. You can actually see the lighter sky, as I pointed out to you, over there and over there. Yeah, definitely the birds are starting to tweet. That means good morning. The early bird gets the worm, so they say. Again, being live, this is my third video, and I'm trying to keep a video log, once a day. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't know how I'm going to do it, with it being the days I go to class. I'd like to share after I take my nap. In the evenings, share my info that I learned. Try to take notes so that when I get home, I can actually share with you people that want to learn a little bit more about how to cope with issues that you are going through, how to just try new things to cope with anxiety, to cope with panic, fears, post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar 1, bipolar 2, schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder. Trust me, that's a little bit different than schizophrenia. There's all different types of illnesses out there that there may not be a cure, but there's something that can be done to help deal with the issue at hand. I like to rock back and forth to keep me and my muscles from getting too tense and sore. Uh-oh, I gotta walk around, because there we go. You got 3 or 4 bars right there. Okay. Looks like that we just keep losing the satellite. I thought that NASA went out and fixed something. I guess they're still hanging out of the cargo bay doing something to it. That's funny. But at any rate, you can still see the light coming out, so I don't have to really move around too much. Oh, that cool air feels so good. And I'm drinking coffee and left my coffee over there, and I may lose you, or may put you on let me put you on the garbage can lid and let you see lost connection. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go get what I want off the table and come back. And it's going to lose the signal, but I'll do it quick. And that way I'll get what I want and take a sip of my coffee. Here's Texas. We are the Longhorn State. University of Texas Longhorns is the college football here. I'm not a fan of too many football players, or just football teams, because lately there has been some real idiots out there doing things that's like, are you serious? Did you just do that? I can't physically get out there and do it, but if I did, I'm pretty sure I'd be just as stupefied as they were. And I call it stupefied because I don't think people realize what they did until they already did it, and then they're like, man, I didn't mean to do that. It's fumbling, I guess. Yeah, and keep you going in and out of the thing. I hope that you're not actually missing anything. You actually get to see what's going on. I don't know why I have so much to talk about this morning. I've been around women so much because of my lifestyle. Women tend to be able to talk to me and listen to me and take advice from me because of me being gay or bi or whatever you want to call it. I believe in love. I have an issue with being in another relationship. I want it, but since my husband died 3 years ago on March 31st, 2015 at 5 p.m., I had to take him off life support because he was 90% brain dead after a cardiac arrest 3 days prior. I'm trying to deal with it. It's, everybody's got lost. It's really crazy how when one goes, there's a half a dozen of them that'll leave that whole month. Have you ever heard of when one dies, a bunch dies after that? Well, that's sort of like what I'm talking about. Is that sometimes there's groups of loved ones that go. I don't know if they have a full trolley that they have to line up the entire train to go to heaven. I'm not sure. Be nice. Give me a little bit of faith that, hey, I don't have to be around here for the rest of my life going through the things I go through at times. Other times I'm going to live and see things and be around people and because I'm an artist, be able to excel in that. I'm real crafty. Somebody told me that even in the worst of times I come up with creative ideas. One person said, you ought to do stand-up comedian. I was like, no, not unless somebody was sitting there listening or to talk to. Comedian. I have a very descriptive mind. I can tell you things, describe things like feelings, smells. Here's one. Okay. Right now, Texas, or Austin, Texas area, Travis County, has been doing figuring out how to use the gas from manure from a cow, which that's what it smelled like, out in the country by my mom's house. And in the mornings when you go by there, you can smell the methane gas come across the highway. Well, I was raised in the country. Matter of fact, I almost sleep better when I smell manure. That's pretty off track, but it's just what it is. You can smell that heavy smell. And my mom's attendants, when I went to the store with them, we'd pass by, and oh my God, the attendant would almost stop driving just to gag. And I started busting out laughing. The look on their face and the gag reflex they have, I'm just laughing my butt off. I just can't believe that people don't or did not ever know that it smelled like that. It's an acquired thing. You have to live in an area that has those smells that you have to get used to. You can't go over there and tell the cow, oh, would you eat so-and-so so that you wouldn't smell so bad? No. You have to live, you have to you have to accommodate yourself to where you live. You can't move for every little tiny thing you don't like. Accommodations. When you live in the country, the accommodations comes with smells, hearing things, getting used to finding out what those sounds are, watching the trees grow, watching the grass grow, watching where the water stands in your yard so that you can add a little bit more dirt and mulch to that area so that that water moves somewhere else. Irrigation is one of the best, funnest things to do, especially during spring and fall when there's rain showers. You get to find out what the lowest spot is, and then you can train that water to go to another part of the ground and not let it stand. Because if you let it stand, it don't matter where you live, mosquito heaven just they're mating, and they mate 24/7 and all year long. There is not. I mean, they even mate in the winter, especially down here, because we don't have issues with it's too cold, we can't make baby. Oh no, let me tell you, they get it on. There's so many getting it on. Man, you can look at it and there's wigglies all over inside the water. It's because they mated. So there's a little bit of a little bit of joking, but you want to keep your water removed from your yard. You've got to build up layers of dirt, and you got to mix it because it can't be just the topsoil, which is a very thick clay soil. You've got to mix it so it absorbs some of the water, but also pushes it into another direction of the yard. Like for instance here, this dirt here, right in here, all of this dirt that you see can be pushed down there, which it has. It's there. I can't show you now in the dark, but it is, sitting over there, and it takes about a couple of days for it to actually soak in. If there was peat moss over there mixed with a little bit of perlite, that would be a good place to put a plant, because anything that needs a lot of water and you don't want to go out and water it all the time, that would be the best place to put a plant. Unless it did not like too much water, and then if it drowned it, of course it'd rot. It'd be root rotted. But like I said, you have to know what you're doing when you go to do it, or at least have some kind of idea or imagination that will help that imagination kick into actually something that works. I actually hear the intercom at the high school across the highway. You could probably hear cars behind me. That's about a block and a half is the Highway 290, which is close to my house. Yes, I smoke, and trust me, it's not the best thing in the world for anybody. But it sure helps me relax. But it's part of meditation. Anytime you're taking a deep breath in, blowing it out, that's what meditation is. And the nicotine, well, that's the addiction. Let's see, what else to cover? Women. Women that put too much makeup looks like they're dead in the casket. I know how to blend because I've not only seen it on YouTube, but I've seen it elsewhere on how to blend makeups and shades. You have to go by your eye color. If you have 3 or 4 eye colors that change according to your mood, then do it according to that mood. Or get something in the middle to blend with it so that you stay pretty and we can actually see your eyes and not the entirety of something that's walking dead. If you like a lot of makeup, hey, you got a lot of body. You can put it in a lot of places. I think that eyeshadow and eyeliner is okay. I think instead of putting the foundation on so thick, if you'd put it on lightly and then go back with a blemish concealer just on certain parts, and then the powder, which I would get a lighter powder. The reason why I know this is because my mom and my grandmother and me have all used makeup, and it's not hard to go on YouTube and just take some tips from somebody else who's done it before. If not, I can also show you where you can go to an Avon site and check those prices out, because they're much cheaper than everywhere else. And you'll probably get some samples from other stuff that if you try, I'm sure you're going to like and start buying more of it. Avon is a really fun thing to do. It's better than delivering newspapers, which a lot of people do just to make money. You don't have to be a real high salesman. You can actually have your own Avon page, and people go onto your page and buy stuff, and you just, put it on a website and let that run, and you can make a lot of money doing that instead of GoFundMe pages. If you, let's say, what's another topic I like to talk about? If you are running out of food and you want to make things last, you're going to have to, you may not like it, but there's a lot of things in life I don't like, but I have to deal with. Like, for instance, milk. It's almost $3 a gallon. Get powder milk. Use a little bit more, maybe a little bit of sugar in it, a teaspoon or 2 of sugar, but get powder milk because it's cheaper than regular milk right now. Eggs, let me tell you something. Get you some chickens, because chickens will fill your house full of eggs. For that whole week, you might get 40 eggs, within time. I mean, and they grow fast. They're the fastest growers ever. But they're really cool. They may smell. They may actually wear down your grass, and you don't have to mow. A plus. There's a lot of good things that you can use nature for to help you in your life. I wish that more people would open their eyes and think outside the box. It's like, oh, I can handle that. And they walk off. Or, oh, that's stupid, I'd never do that. Well, think outside the box a little bit. Just allow yourself to experience the things that I'm talking about. Because if you don't experience anything, well, you're going to live the most boringest life out there because you're afraid of what it might be like. Or that you just don't want to, which, don't want to never got nothing. You ain't going to get nothing because you ain't willing to go get it. I am very sore standing here, and I've been online now 31 minutes. My God. This is a little bit longer, so as I show you the back of me, there is a little bit of light. I may do another video later, but it's very difficult. I have to make a bunch of calls today for an attendant that's supposed to help me deal with my life and show me how to comprehend the letters I've gotten. I've probably got about 20 letters. I don't know what they mean. I got to figure out what to do about it. Oh yeah, I probably got to take one of my shoes back to Foot Locker because I can't afford it, and my meds because they cut me off my SSDI because of my wedding in Utah to a guy, and so they're looking at it like, well, you can't get your mother's SSDI, and so without getting my mother's SSDI, oh, my battery is at 7%. Okay, well guys, love you, peace, talk to you later. Give me keys, just like Omar says.